Hi everyone, I'm super excited to bring to you the episode on comparison of different brands of whey proteins that we have been building over for the last 3 or 4 sessions. Today you will see some of your favorite brands that are very well marketed and well established, and we will bid them against each other and see who comes out on top. Remember to stay till the end so that you get my top 5 recommendations. Welcome to Health and Nutrition with Sabyasachi, and let's dive right in. There are so many brands of whey proteins which are available today, and it's really difficult to put your finger on one of them and say that this is the best and this is not the best one, right? So to ease your pain, what I have actually done is created this whey protein purity calculator. It's a Google sheet, it's an interactive Google sheet, and I have pasted the link of that in the description below so that you can access it easily. The common questions that you would ask any whey protein brand before purchasing are: is this a grass-fed whey source? Is the milk extraction direct, that is cold press or cheeseling? What is the type of whey? Is it whey isolate or concentrate or a blend? What is the sweetener used? Is it a natural or an artificial sweetener? What is the flavor and the taste? What are the third-party certifications that this product has? And that is perhaps one of the most important ones, as you will see going forwards. The scoop size and the protein purity, that is how much of that scoop that you are putting in your milk or water, it contains protein, right? So that is protein purity. Then the amino acid profile, like essential amino acids, branch chain amino acids, and specifically leucine. And lastly, does the protein brand or the whey protein that you're considering have digestive enzymes and probiotics? We have looked at all of these in much detail in the previous episode, and you can catch all of that by logging on there. The whey protein calculator gives you a score, and based on that score we classify these proteins into a poor choice one where the score is less than 60, and an average quality one, or a good quality one, or perhaps an outstanding quality protein. So all of us are looking for this outstanding quality protein where you will see 100 on 100 score from this purity calculator. But alas, a product like that does not exist. So like it's very difficult to get 100 on 100 in your exams, or even your phone may not charge 100% a lot of the times, right? So similarly, there are no products that I know of, at least, which are 100 on 100, and I'll be very happy if you could put some of those in the descriptions below so that we can all get access to that. But as of now, there are very few products which are even in the outstanding quality category. In addition to all of these, the two things that I would look are: the first is a sweetener, and try and always go for a naturally occurring sweetener like monk fruit. And the other thing important is third-party certifications like NSF, Labdoor, and Informed Choice are the gold standard ones. And as you will see in the later part of this lecture, there is only one product in the Indian market which has NSF certifications, to the best of my knowledge, and there are many others which have Informed Choice ones. But then these are the two criteria which I would really use to zoom in on the protein of my choice. And these are some of the proteins which are very well marketed and are available on to all of us, and I'm sure you will be able to identify one or two of these that you might have tried yourself, right? So let's start with one of the most prototypical ones, that is Optimum Nutrition, and the gold standard 100% whey. And this has been in the market for many years and has sold more than 1 billion tubs, I'm sure. And some of the best known athletes and some of the IPL brands are now endorsing this as well. So when you use information from this packaging and the website, and you look at the labeling, and when you enter all of these into the purity calculator, this is what you will get, where it's a compromise for a lot of things, including so the good thing it has is third-party certification, right? And of course BCAA content and leucine content, but a lot of others are compromises. And when we bring up the quality categories, you will realize that this is an average quality protein, something which has been selling more than 1 billion tubs all over the world is perhaps an average quality protein that I might not really want to go for myself. This is another protein which is very freely available from the company Muscle Blaze, and Muscle Blaze has more than 15 to 20 different products on their websites and on their marketplaces. So this is the one which is perhaps their best one, which is called the Biozyme ISO 0. Right, so when you input all of these informations, you will see that you get a score of 86, and when you pull in the the criteria, you will realize that this is a really good quality protein, even bordering on an outstanding protein. Right, so why I'm showing you these is so that you understand how to use this calculator and do these yourself for whatever protein that you want to try. And the other thing is that this is not an arbitrary way of it's not on my own whims and fancies. I think it is as science driven as this could possibly go. Other thing is that taste matters, isn't it? So something which is not tasting that well is very difficult to keep coming back to. So therefore I have divided this and brand classifications into flavored whey proteins, which most of us would prefer, and unflavored whey proteins, which is a very short section that you could straight away jump to if you want, using the timestamps. So let's go to the flavored whey proteins. This is a template that I have used. On the left side, as you will see, all the criteria in the purity calculator are now present. The first one is, I have of course started with the gold standard whey from Optimum Nutrition, and as you see, it has a score of 70 that I showed you before as well. Isopure is a pure isolate and not a blend from the same company, and it has a score of about 74 with a little bit of not so transparent information on the packaging. The other is the Whole Truth. The cleanest whey protein is what they call it, and it relatively is clean, but overall the protein quality based on the calculator gets it a score of 76. Now we are in the good quality protein, right? 70 is average quality, 74 is on the borderline of, or on the cusp of average to good, 76 definitely is crossed that, and it is a good quality protein. When you look at the other ones that I have put, the one with True Basics is also really nice, though they don't have third-party certifications as yet, and they claim a lot of testing, including HAP testing, but so far they're getting a lower score simply because they don't have third-party certifications, and the scoop sizes are slightly lower than others. And the last on this list is the one that I have put is the Healthy Hay whey protein, that is a pure isolate from Healthy Hay, and this is also pretty commonly used. It has a score of about 78, so this is a good protein. If you're having to strain on some of these brands, I'm going to share this presentation with you, and it's a Canva link, and you can actually go and click. So these are all hyperlinked. You can click on this product, go to that website, and actually check it out for yourself. Right. So some of the proteins that we've discussed so far are these. Let's go to slightly better proteins. The Muscle Blaze bioenzyme ISO 0 is something that we've already discussed, and it has a really nice score of 86 with a large constellation of green ticks. Right. The next is the Avatar ISO Rich pure isolate, and it comes in different flavors. It gets a score of about 80, slightly low but still a good protein nonetheless. The next is the True Native whey protein. This is one of the few ones which are grass-fed, cow derived, and overall it gets a score of about 81. Something which scores really high is the one from GNC, and this is the pure isolate GNC AMP variety proteins, right? So GNC also has a lot of different varieties of proteins on their website, something like Muscle Blaze, but this is perhaps their best product, right? So it gets a score of 89 and has a very high protein purity, amino acid profile, as well as a lot of other good things going for it. The only problematic thing that I see is the sweetener. So they use an artificial sweetener, and therefore the score slightly down, but it now is bordering on an outstanding protein. And the last that I've put on this list is the Athletic series from Explosive Whey, which Mahendra Singh Dhoni incidentally endorses. And this is also an excellent protein, and Explosive Whey also has many different varieties, but the Athletic series that I've put up here is perhaps their best one. They use stevia as their, there is very little red crosses here, right? So it gets a score of about 86 overall, right? So these are all good quality proteins. So what are my top picks, right? So from all of these that we've seen, what really matters to me, and I think should matter to you, is third-party testing as well as the sweetener use that I've already mentioned before. So based on all of this, I think my number 2 choice is the GNC AMP Pure Isolate. My number 3 choice is the Explosive Whey athletic series, right, or the athlete series whey protein, which is the Pure Whey Isolate. Number 4 on my list is the Muscle Blaze Biozyme ISO 0. Number 5 on my list is the True Native Whey Protein, which is derived from grass-fed cows. So what is my number 1 choice, right? So overall, looking at all these different criteria and doing a lot of research, my number 1 choice is the Whey Isolate from Wellbeing Nutrition. So this is a pure whey isolate and comes in different flavors. I've put up the dark chocolate one. This is the only one which has this NSF certification amongst all the different products that I've looked at. It has a really good amino acid profile as well. And when you gather all this information and put it onto the calculator, the purity calculator, you will see that it gets an outstanding score of 92. And needless to say, when you bring up this these scales, you'll realize that this truly is an outstanding quality protein. So these are some of my top choices, where my number 1 choice with the highest purity score is the whey protein from Wellbeing Nutrition. Number 2 is the GNC AMP Pure Isolate with purity score of 89, and the others that follow are Explosive Whey Athlete Series, the Muscle Blaze Biozyme ISO 0, and the True Native whey protein, right, which is a pro blend. So these are my top 5 choices. Coming to unflavored whey proteins, there are a lot of them, and every company makes unflavored whey isolate. Remember that you need to score them very similar to what we were scoring before, and most unflavored whey isolates don't have sweeteners and all, and therefore will always have much higher scores, and therefore they are better quality proteins. So one of my favorites is the Whole Truth Pure Whey Isolate. It also has a pure whey concentrate, which I would not recommend. The pure whey isolate with a purity score of 88 is really high on my list. And of course, Wellbeing Nutrition is really high on the list as well. And I think most of the products are really valuable. So interesting to see is that the purity score on the on the unflavored whey is 93, and on the flavored whey is 92. Right, so I would really not go for an unflavored whey, and maybe alternate between an unflavored and a flavored whey, if or maybe even use half scoop of this and half scoop of that to temper down the taste of something else that you are perhaps mixing it with, right? So overall, I think Wellbeing Nutrition is the best product which is there in the Indian market today. There are some other factors which you should even consider, especially like your own palate. Do you like it very sweet? If yes, then you would prefer some over the other. How much is your activity levels? If you are a very active individual and need like 2 grams per kilogram body weight of protein based on all your running and cycling and swimming and all of that and weights, then you would look at something which is a pure isolate with the highest amino acid profile, especially leucine. Right, and the other thing which could play a role is your gender. So young women, especially some having menstrual irregularities, should think about preferring organic, grass-fed and hormone-free labels. So look for this word, the RBGH hormone free stamp on the protein powder or their website. That's because this is a growth hormone which is fed to cows, and that increases their milk production. But then this also gets excreted into the milk, and then it gets concentrated into the whey that you're consuming, right? So if a lady is suddenly gets menstrual irregularities, it's very unlikely that you will attribute it to your recent whey protein. But then be careful that this still could happen. Some other preferences like your lactose tolerance preference, which would mandate you to go only for whey pure isolates. Some of the sweeteners, some people may like artificial sweeteners better than naturally occurring sweeteners. Your own gut and how much bloating you get after each whey, would differ as well. And some of the other things which are totally specific to you and almost impossible for me to put my finger on are also there, right? So you will see that you might see that a whey protein which you estimate to have a score of maybe 85 or 86, you're not tolerating that well. But another whey protein which has a score of say 76 or 77, like the whole truth, is something that you're tolerating well, because it's much cleaner than many others, right? So these are all the other factors which you should also look at in addition to the scoring that we have done. So the take home message is, definitely use the scoring system to select the whey that you're wanting to buy. Look at the sweetener first, then look at third-party certifications, and when you're through with both of these, look at the brand, right? And then the cost, and then all of these other factors that come into play, right? So Wellbeing Nutrition is perhaps an excellent brand in the Indian market today, and I would strongly recommend using it. I use it almost every day, and I've been seeing good results over the last 3 to 4 weeks that I've been using Wellbeing after this. So I shifted from the Whole Truth to True Native, and now some to Wellbeing Nutrition, based on all the research that I've done over the last 2 or 3 months, right? So thank you so much for watching this lecture, and that brings us to the end of the protein series on health and nutrition with Sabyasachi. Stay tuned for much more coming up on fat metabolism, the role of statins and whether you should take it, how do you interpret lipid profiles. We would also look at future series on other things like micronutrients, and some on running and exercise and forms and all of that. So stay tuned, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and please share the good word and leave your comments below, so that we can keep this discussion going. See you soon in the next lecture.